All right, we have Mr. Ron Mueller live on this call with us right this moment. We're excited. He's all the way from California, lives on an incredible yacht. Really showing people the value of not just having a business, but having a home-based business. He is the author of Home Business Tax Savings Made Easy, and I can vouch for that. The subline to his book is "The more you know, the less you owe." And everybody, just thinking about taxes kind of freaks some people out. But here I want to give you peace of mind. I want to give you hope. I want to give you excitement, because the information you're about to hear just a little bit of, that you'll be able to have access to all the information at the end of the call. But this information is critical not only for you, because as you grow your prepaid legal business, you need to take advantage of every tax deduction that you are due. And I guarantee you there's a lot that you're not taking advantage of. You're paying more in taxes than you need to. Secondly, knowing this information certainly helps you recruit people, because everybody needs to have a home-based business. And that's the only way they can take advantage of these tax deductions you're about to hear about. So we're really excited to have Mr. Ron Mueller on the call with us. He is just one of our favorites. We have known this man for over 5 years now. Could be quite a bit longer than that, but I can remember 5 years ago we had him come into Charleston, and he just educated everybody. Everybody was saving taxes. We've got all kinds of testimonies over the last 5 years of people saving not a little, but thousands of dollars, because they listened to Ron Mueller. They've got his book, and they access the information, and truly, the more you know, the less you owe, and that's what happens. So, Mr. Mueller, I know you've only got a few minutes, but if you could just kind of in general talk to everybody about maybe just give them an idea of some of the information that they need to know. Tax time is always right around the corner, it seems, that they need to know before they file their tax return, and that you think, there's just a few things like, oh my gosh, you just taught me so much that anything that you'd like to share, I'm sure everybody's going to think is incredibly valuable. So I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes, and then we'll talk about where they can get more information.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me onto this call. And I think maybe the place to start perhaps is to, I just want to assure everyone of something that you may not have heard, and that is that the special tax breaks for home-based businesses were created by Congress in order to encourage people like us to get into a home-based business and to run a home-based business. They're not some tax break that a clever lawyer figured out how to apply to home-based businesses. Congress did this on purpose. It's good for our economy. The more home-based businesses taxpayers have, the better, more stability for our economy. And so what they decided to do was to pay us essentially to run a home-based business. They will give us enough tax breaks to, in most cases, put an extra $3,000 to $5,000 additional refund in your pocket. And that's the incentive to start a business and to continue running it. And that goes on year after year. Now, this is not part of the economic stimulus bills that Congress have been passing, and that's a good thing because they expire every December. These don't expire. These are tax breaks that you qualify for as of the day you get into a business and start running it with. And there are a number of different breaks available. Now, they've passed over 100 different tax bills, or tax deductions rather, specifically for home-based business. But the good news there is that I've been analyzing this for about 10 years now, and you really only have to know about 7 of them. So if you understand 7 of the tax breaks available, and anybody can understand that fairly easily because I've taken the convoluted tax code and converted it into plain English so that the average person can read it and understand it and use it. But with those 7 tax breaks, the average person can be able to reduce the amount of money being withheld from your paychecks for tax by enough money to usually pay for the cost of of your home-based business. So all of your prepaid legal expenses are pretty much paid for by Uncle Sam. Then, as every time you get a commission or a bonus, that's all profit because your operating costs have been covered by the tax savings. The average person will be able to save. This sounds pretty incredible, but without a home-based business or without an understanding of the home business tax laws, the average person is overpaying your taxes by about $20 a day. $20. Feel like to pull a $20 bill out of your wallet or your purse and toss it up in the sky and watch it blow away in the breeze every single day. That's what the cost is of not having a home-based business, but not understanding the tax breaks. So that's what that's what I cover in my book. It's I wrote the book because there isn't anything else like it available to people that is easy to understand. And so I found that over about a year's worth of research, I located the tax breaks that are specifically applicable to home-based businesses, and then translated all that to understand plain English. And with that, now for the first time, people can really take advantage of the tax laws that Congress passed for our benefit. Haven't gotten much publicity. The biggest tax breaks involve using your personal vehicles for business purposes. That usually will give most people $3,000 to $4,000, sometimes $5,000 additional tax deductions. Hiring your children as young as the age of 6 in a home-based business will allow you to pay your allowance, which is paid with after-tax money. You can pay them with before tax with tax-free dollars, and the money they earn from you is tax-free because minors can earn $5,700 a year without paying any taxes on it. So those are a couple of the benefits. And then you've got, of course, the home office that lets you convert a lot of your personal living expenses into tax-deductible business expenses. A lot of people now traveling on business will take their family with them, or they'll go a little early or stay a little late because traveling is such a hassle. To make it a little more bearable, a lot of folks will combine business with pleasure. And the tax code has just recently been clarified now to specify exactly, make sure that combined business pleasure trip it qualifies as a business expense. And so it's very clear. Anytime the laws, the rules are clear, they're easy to follow. So as we know in prepaid legal, if you understand the law and follow the law, you don't need to be afraid of the law. And that's the case with the tax code as well.
I want to let me interrupt for just a second because you mentioned something that I'd about forgotten that we had been doing as our children were growing up, and that is we did employ them, and that just doing that actually allowed us to have the money to send them to private school. I mean, that was a huge thing for us to learn how to do. So. Ron, I want to thank you for mentioning that, and I'm glad you mentioned the vehicle deductions because, I know you taught us that with the proper record keeping, gosh, you can write off a lot of the cost of having your vehicle. And so, I feel sorry for people who don't have home-based businesses, and I also feel sorry for those that have them and don't know about these tax deductions. I am so excited about you telling everybody about them. And your brand new book that you've updated now, I know it's incredible and simpler than ever to understand and follow. Talk to people, if you will, for just a minute about the cost of gasoline. And I remember one time when you were giving that example, if you could elaborate just a little bit on that for everybody, because when we fill up that tank of gas, it stretches out those credit cards, and it doesn't get very exciting when you have to, especially when those the gas prices go up as they tend to do every now and then. So could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. The deduction you can get for using your personal vehicle for business purposes is 50 cents a mile. So if you get, let's say gas is $3 a gallon, and it's just pushing above that here in California right now. Let's say it's $3 a gallon, and you get 20 miles a gallon. If you take $3 and divide that by 20, it costs you about 15 cents a mile to operate your vehicle. But Uncle Sam is giving you a 50 cents per mile deduction for using that vehicle. So you actually get about 3 times as much tax deductions as the actual cost of gas. Now, there's more that goes into operating a vehicle than just the cost of gas, but it's nice to know that when you're filling your vehicle, if it costs you at $3 a gallon, if you got say an 18-gallon gas tank, you got about $50 worth of gas. Well, that $50 worth of gas is going to give you about $150 to $200 worth of tax deductions. So it makes it a little less painful when you're pumping gas into your car when you realize that there is some offsetting penalty in this game if you understand how to do the tax deduction for vehicles, which, by the way, is the easiest tax deduction requirements of all the tax breaks available to home business owners, or the vehicle deduction documentation. It's by far the easiest.
Wow, that is
Is that what you
awesome.
need to cover, Teresa?
Yeah, that is great. And how about, a lot of people are going to be getting this information this year, and they're going to say, oh, my gosh, I could have taken advantage of so much of this last year. What can they do about that?
I tell you, I've had that question come up so many times already this year that I've actually put together about a 75-minute audio briefing that is like a tutorial on how to go about reconstructing records that you didn't keep, because you need to have records in order to qualify for tax deductions. So if you haven't filed your taxes for last year yet, and most people have not, then by getting this recording, it's less than $20. I think it's $19, something like that, on my website. With this recording, it'll take you through all the IRS-approved methods of reconstructing records. Most people who kept no records at all last year because they didn't even know about this will still be able to add at least $2,000 or $3,000 to their tax refund. And then going forward, of course, you're going to be able to add way more than that, because you're going to be able to keep all the records as you go along during 2010. And you can also, if you had a business that goes beyond last year, you can file amended returns back as far as 3 years back, using the same techniques of reconstructing records. You can go back and refile those tax returns and often get an extra $2,000 or $3,000 per year for the last 3 years as a second refund on tax returns you've already filed.
Wow. That's exciting. I mean, golly, bum. I mean, a lot of people are going to be able to get a lot of money back if they just follow your directions in that packet. That is awesome, Ron. And I know with the administration that's in office right now, we all expect, with everything that they're doing, we just expect. In fact, my CPA said, Teresa, the tax rates are what they are this year, but next year expect to be in a much higher tax bracket, earning the same amount of money. That's his expectation. And is that yours also?
It is, and that's why anybody who wants to become financially successful needs to get their taxes under control from the earliest moment, because there's only one direction taxes are going to go, and that's up and up and up. So, but as long as you're aware of the deductions available to you, you can keep the taxable amount of your income as low as possible. So my commitment is to show people and help people reduce their taxes to the legal minimum. I don't believe in taking shortcuts. I don't believe in cheating. I don't believe in gray areas and loopholes and things like that. But there are a lot of legitimate tax breaks that can dramatically reduce the amount of taxes we're paying. And that's going to become even more important as the administration passes more tax increases.
Right. And we don't like it. We'd like to think we could stop it, but I don't think any of us are going to be able to stop that. I've got one last question. There are a lot of people who actually have a brick and mortar business. They have a retail business or some sort of business, and they may not be working from home. When those people start a home-based business, is that going to expand the business deductions that they can take since they're already business owners? Does having a home-based business add a lot of deductions?
Oh, absolutely. There are several deductions, major deductions they don't qualify for if they have a brick and mortar business. But once they set up a home-based business, they not only qualify for those, but also every time they're going from their home to their brick and mortar business, they're going from one place of business to another place of business. So that's no longer non-deductible commuting mileage. That's now tax-deductible business mileage.
Wow.
So the biggest deductions come to people who have either a regular job or a brick and mortar business and also a home-based business.
So let me make sure I understand that, because I actually understand it, but I want to make sure the listeners understand it, because it's so exciting to me. Because we have a retail business, we have a sign company, on the other side of town, and we have a home-based business, of course. And so when we leave this place of business and go to the sign store, that you're saying we can deduct that.
That's deductible 50 cents a mile, because you're going from one place of business to another place of business, and that falls under the two business location rule in the tax code that gives you full tax deduction.
Wow, that is so exciting. And I so much appreciate your comment that you are all about, really adhering to the letter of the law, that you're not about like pulling something over the IRS or doing something illegal. And I appreciate that so much. That's why I feel so confident in recommending you and all your information, your website and your book to everybody, because I know that they're going to be safe if they follow what you've got there. They're going to be within all the guidelines that they need to be to take legitimate tax deductions. So let's last of all lead everybody to your website so they can find out more information about these tax deductions.
Absolutely. In fact, I set up a special web page for with a new tax special for this call, so that I can give people a significant discount on the products that are available, because this time of year is most important to get that in their hands. So I've actually set it up as www.newtaxspecial. That's easy enough to remember, right? So
That's awesome.
NEWTAXSPECIAL, and that'll take you to a special page on my website, and from there you can explore the rest of the website. But that's the only place that you'll be able, by going through that link, is the only way you'll be able to get the special pricing on the tax savings products and services and telecoaching and those things.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Ron. I did not know you were going to do that for us. So thank you so much. And again, what's that website?
It's I'm going to give two addresses. The one for the special is newtaxspecial.com. NEWTAX.
Okay, I want to repeat.
SPECIAL.
Okay, newtaxspecial.com.
Right.
Okay, and your main website?
And the main website is www.homebusinesstaxsavings.com.
Homebusinesstaxsavings.com. Thank you, Ron. Right. Thank you, Ron Mueller, so very much. And I know you've got to run to an appointment, so I really, really appreciate you taking this time for all of us to learn more about these incredible, awesome home-based business tax deductions. So you have a great day, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.